Welcome to session 5 and 6 combined so that I can keep my numbering system. In this session, we're going to cover off orbital angle and the center of the Earth. As a reminder, in the comments section, there's a link to a URL that provides a playlist so that you can go through all of the sessions in order and do the exercises yourself. In our model, we will use 7 units for the distance from the center of the Sun to the center of the Earth. That's mainly because that is what fits nicely on the screen, and that information will come up again later. When you first sign into GeoGebra, you'll just get a screen like this. If you click on the upper right, your files will come up. Of course, I have quite a few. You may have less. All right, so now we have opened up our file, and we have our center of Sun already there. And we're going to use the material that you came up with last time about the coordinates of a point that travel all the way around a circle. So before that, we do need our angle. Now, in order to do our angle, we're going to do something called a slider. So we're going to choose this second from the right, and we're going to choose slider. There's other choices there. And we're going to put our slider here in the upper left. Now, we're going to make our slider an angle, and we're going to rename our angle to orbit because we want to use meaningful variable names. So I'm going to say orbit, and then we're going to make a couple of other changes. We won't change the slider. By the way, going back, notice that it goes from 0 to 360 degrees, 1 degree at a time. And we're not going to change anything about this slider tab, but on the animation tab, we are going to make a change, and we're going to change it to increasing once. All right, so that also puts it over here into the algebra view. I'm just going to take an opportunity to do a small GeoGebra thing here. Click the 3 lines on the upper right, and we go down to view. We see that right now we have the algebra view checked and the graphics view. If we want the algebra view to go away, we can uncheck it here, and there it goes. But we actually still need it, so we're going to keep access to it. And there it is back again. Now, if you're wondering where did my save button go, if you press on File, that'll bring up the various items available under File. So let's click away from here. Oh, and there's a good chance to point out one of our common mistakes. Every time you do an action using any of these items, you'll notice here that we were here doing a slider, and notice that there it goes again. Notice that you get this little blue square around whatever you were using. In order to get it back to your cursor, click on the cursor and then click on the cursor again, and you'll get the little blue highlight around your cursor. So now we're back in business. All right, now we have our angle, and I'm going to just give you the fact that we're going to have the diameter of our circular orbit equal to 7 units. So now we're ready to enter the center of the Earth. So based on what you came up with in your little puzzle last time, you know that the x-coordinate is the radius, which is in our case 7, times the cosine of the angle, which in our case we're calling it orbit. And then you can put a comma here. Now we could have also used this little online keyboard, which we'll make a lot of use of. It's way down here in the left, barely visible. If you click on it, now we're going to choose functions. I'm going to just do it 2 different ways. I could have just typed this, sine, and in there we're just going to type orbit. And then we're going to use this little return key. And now we've got the center of the Earth all ready to orbit. But we just want to doctor it up a little bit. So beside each object, you'll see 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots, choose settings. Now we could have named it center of the Earth in the first place, but we'll just do it this way. We will call it center Earth. And then we're just going to go to the color and make it white. Now we have our center of Earth. And we can see, whoops, what did we do wrong? Notice we forgot to put our radius in. So I'm going to do that by just going back into settings, I could have done it over here, and we forgot to put our radius in. 7 times. So it's the asterisk key if you want to do it here. That's more like it. Now let's give it another little test, and that looks more like a circle. So that we now have our center of the sun, the center of the earth, and we're stopped there. And that is the end of orbital angle and center of the earth. And next we'll move on to the sun-earth ray.